I recognize the member from Anoka, Representative Niska.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. I move that House File 2438 be taken from the table.
I recognize the member from Hennepin, Representative Long.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, this is the tax bill, and I urge support.
All in favor of taking House File 2438 from the table say aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion prevails. The clerk will report the bill.
Conference Committee report on House File number 2438, an act relating to taxes. Now the clerk will take the roll. We already gave it a third reading. Yeah. Yes, so the clerk will take the roll.
Further discussion on third reading. I recognize a member from Martin, Representative Olson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. Last year, I asked if the state of Minnesota had forgotten about our veterans. I said, I told you a story about a soldier who had lost both of his legs in Afghanistan, and he was 100% disabled. And he said, Representative Olson, every day I wake up and I am reminded about my disability. Sometimes I fear that the state of Minnesota is forgetting about my disabilities. Members, this year, the Commander's Task Force, a group that represents all 300,000 veterans in this state, I'll remind you it's the American Legion, the AMVETS, the Disabled American Veterans, the Jewish War Veterans, the Marine Corps League, the Military Order of the Purple Heart, the Paralyzed Veterans of America, and the Veterans of Foreign Wars. They came here and they said, we need one thing. And that one thing that we needed is to increase the disabled veteran homestead market value exclusion. Now, if you remember, members, about 20 years ago, the state of Minnesota said members of the military who have sacrificed so much for us should not have to pay their property taxes at a certain level, and they set that at $300,000 for 100% disabled individuals. And they set it at $150,000 for individuals who are 70% disabled. They came here and they asked us to increase that due to the fact that properties have increased so much over the last 20 years. And we are not only forgetting them in this bill, but we are ignoring them in this bill. Another year has passed where we have decided to ignore the disabled veterans. And we always get the same answer from those who are against it. They say, this will increase other individuals' property taxes. Well, members, I have the information on how much that shift would occur. In my county, in Martin County, Minnesota, it would affect our property taxes by 0.057%. 0.057% for individuals who are not disabled. I looked at it. Hennepin County, their property tax would be shifted by 0.068%. And members, I looked for the highest, most affected county based off of our estimates. If we were to make this happen, the largest shift would be Stearns County. Sorry, Representative O'Driscoll. Stearns County would see a shift of 0.248%. Members, in monetary value, we would be asking people to help support our disabled veterans to the tune of $4.80 per taxpayer. $4.80 to say we support our veterans, but we couldn't do it again this year. I am starting to believe that the state of Minnesota has not only forgotten our veterans, but we are ignoring them. We must do something next year.
I recognize the member from Hennepin, Representative Acom.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. I will be very brief. I just want to thank the Tax Committee for letting us get the nuclear study in, since we didn't have a home in the, we didn't have an energy bill this year. The language in the bill will ensure a thorough and unbiased study of nuclear energy, including a true comparison of the life cycle costs, the health impacts, environmental impacts, risk of accidents, transmission expansion, and the liabilities between nuclear energy generation and other forms of generation, including renewables like solar, wind, geothermal, and battery storage. And we should have the findings for the study next year, so thank you so much. Appreciate, again, getting it in the bill.
I recognize the member from Hennepin, Representative Gomez.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Please vote green.
Recognize the member from Fillmore, Representative Davids.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I'd like to thank Chair Gomez for her description of the bill. I think she did a very good job on it. A couple of things, and you usually don't talk about what's not in a bill, but I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the local option sales taxes. For example, for the city of St. Paul, we had Representative Norris's Blaine in there. It's a huge, huge project that won't be happening now. One that I'm very, very concerned about is Virginia. Virginia is converting from a steam plant to natural gas. They don't have a way to pay for it. This was the way to pay for it. But I don't know what's going to happen to them right now. We had Plymouth, we had Minnetonka, we had very, very good projects in here, but that's what's not in the bill. So I'm a strong green on this bill for what is in the bill. And I would just like to name the bill, as we do every year. The tax bill is named Urgent by the song Foreigner. Look it up. It's very appropriate. It is just such an honor to work with Chair Gomez in the world-famous Tax Committee. And I do have some thank yous I do want to go through. The Pages, Sierra Eichten, Tristan Soar, nonpartisan staff, who we really put them through the ringer, every one of them this year. Chris Clayman, Sean Williams, Jared Swanson, Justin Cope, Cynthia Templin, Katrina Highmark, Alexander Hagler, partisan staff, Sean Haydorn, Jacob Cowan, the CLAs, Samara Sheik, wonderful job, Jennifer Goblersch, wonderful job, CAs Patrick McQuillan, Sam Moyer, Vice Chairs Joy, a wonderful Vice Chair, and Vice Chair Norris. I would be very remiss if I didn't thank my good friend, Senator Ann Rest, for all the work she's done over the years in the tax area. Senator Bill Weber, Mitch Berggren does a wonderful job in the Senate. I want to thank the Gold Ties and the State Patrol for keeping us safe during our committee meetings. I would like to thank Ron Hubbard of House Information. Working with the department, Commissioner Marquardt just simply does a great job. And Joanna Bears, Eric Willett, we kind of put him through the ringer too, I'd have to say. So with that, members, I'll just wrap up here. And again, thank you, Chair Gomez. Let's vote green.
Seeing no further discussion, the clerk will take the roll.
What's that? Okay, Momani Hillsley's here. Well, we're working on it.
The clerk will call the names of the members participating remotely.
Burkle.
Go.
Burkle, aye.
Burkle votes aye.
The clerk will close the roll. There being 126 ayes and 8 nays, the bill is repassed as amended by conference and its title is agreed to.